This is Preston Jones. I have with me today on the phone Benjamin Newcomb. We will be discussing his career. So, Ben, uh,
Preston.
tell me a little bit about yourself and what your job is.
Sure, Preston. I was born in Houston. Lived there my whole life, and then I went to Baylor University for college. I got a degree in finance, a bachelor's degree in finance. And then after that bachelor's degree in finance, I went to work for a commercial bank called Amegy Bank of Houston. That was my first job out of college. But in college, I had a few internships at Sewell Automotive Companies. Sewell Automotive is based out of Dallas, and they've got dealerships in Houston, Fort Worth, Dallas, and various suburban areas around those places. They specialize in luxury cars. So I started selling Infinitis out of Dallas, and then I went to Houston my next summer to sell Mercedes.
So, my argument I have today
And
is
then
that
graduated,
if all
went
the
to
oil
Amegy
companies
Bank,
use their
and
resources
then
on
after
clean
2 years at
energy,
Amegy Bank, I
like they
started
put their
at
resources towards clean energy, it
Oceaneering
can take
International,
to the next step for
which is an
the betterment
offshore
of the world's
asset
population. Because over the past
support
100
company,
years,
primarily the
more
oil
or
and gas,
less,
offshore oil and gas
oil
assets
companies have
based out of
they've
Houston.
been the big dogs.
And
Like
I've
oil
been
company,
there for about
production
4
like
months.
Chevron, Shell, BP,
All right.
like they've all
So,
been
Yep.
around.
what is
So
your
they've
daily
built up these
routine like in
reputations
your
and
job?
the power, the
Sure,
money that they have.
you'll
that
find this once you leave
It's time
college,
to
but
use that
you
power and resources
took for
they've built up
granted the amount of
to
time
help
you have in college.
go towards a different
Because, you know, when
direction.
you're
It's
working a full
better in
day,
the long run
you
for
kind of
our,
lose the whole day, you know what I mean?
not just our country,
So
but
I
just the
usually
entire
wake
world
up
and just
at
the planet
around
itself.
5:30. I go to the gym
So
for an hour and a
basically,
half.
clean energy, it may not
I
have the
work
same
from about
profits
7:30
as oil does right now.
to
Side by side, oil still makes more.
I'm actually
It
working right
produces
now,
more, and it
but
still
usually
has
it's
more
around 5:30.
weight,
Sometimes it's longer,
monetary wise.
depending on
But
tasks
it's
we
not
have.
about like where we are
Then
today.
after
It's
that,
about
it's usually my
getting
time.
to where we're gonna be. So it's not about
All
just because
right.
the profits
So,
of oil are
what
more
is something
now.
that you love about
That
your job?
later in life they're gonna become more valuable
Something I
because
love
the world
about
is
my
trending more
job.
towards the clean energy way. So
I get a paycheck.
these
Pretty neat.
the profits will be low to start. I mean, it's not like they're gonna make absolutely
I
nothing.
get the
but it won't
opportunity
be as much as oil
to
makes now.
work
So
on projects that affect
it's good to compare,
global
but it's not the
organization
future, not
and
right
a
now.
lot of people.
So
I should
the
also
future
state that
of
my role is
our
a
world's
financial
oil
analyst.
supply, it is on a slow
So my
decline.
job
So
is often focused on
like I said, it'll never run out
supporting
in my
the
lifetime.
monthly, quarterly,
But
yearly
it
reporting
will.
for the company, as well as
It's definitely climbing
forecasting
slowly, and
future
over the time it
revenues,
will eventually run
costs,
out.
as well as approaching day-to-day
But
financial
it's
activities to
not
help
really about
save money for the
just
organization.
finding ways to
So I think those activities are pretty
compete
interesting.
with us not
I
running
get to
out.
work
It's just
with people that handle interesting aspects of the
maybe we find
business,
a way to
from
produce
spacesuits
power and
to
conserve what we have,
submarines and
or
oil rigs
conserve the oil supply that we have
and
in the
underwater
ground, or
robots.
just overall,
So I think that's pretty
and
neat too.
give the Earth
Does that answer your question?
time to replenish
That,
itself.
that sounds like
possibly.
some cool stuff. So, yes, that answers my
so that
question.
Yeah, cool
a
stuff.
little bit, and then it's there.
What
if we
would you
need
say
it,
that
but
you enjoy the least
hopefully
about
in the
your
long run
job?
we can get down to
Oh,
just clean energy, like
um,
renewable energy is just all we need to get by.
what do I enjoy the least
So
about
that's
my
why I
job?
think it's good for, like, if the big oil companies jump in now, and do
Often
what
when
they
you're
can
working,
to help, and then they give a little kickstart, so then you get everything going now, and
for an
it helps in
organization
the
like
long
this,
run,
you'll have a lot of different eyes
so that we
on
can
your
get where
work,
we need to be.
which isn't a problem. But
Um,
the more people that look at your work, the
so
more
an
people
example I want to use
want to
is
change up your work.
Elon Musk.
So it leads to a lot of,
He jumped
hey,
on it
fix
early
this font,
to
change
like
this
the views
color,
of clean energy
small
and
stuff that slows down the
like transportation.
major process.
I'm on
So
a phone
like,
call.
he capitalized on it, and now he's
I'm on a
one
phone
of
call.
the richest men on earth.
Hey, I'm trying to be
because he
professional around
saw the
here. What's
changing
going
times.
on?
He found a way. Tesla.
Roommates interrupted.
Is,
All right, next
the
question.
electric car
Uh,
company,
cut
and
this
they're doing more than
How
just
did
that.
how did
So
you get
it
where you
proves
are
that you can
today?
jump on it, and you can
Just give me,
still,
like,
you
a-
can capitalize
I guess a
on the
broad,
time,
just-
and then you can maximize your profits, and you can be making
What
more
you
than you
doing?
thought you were making. So
You
that's
get-
and Elon Musk.
I think I got to where I am by having a nice support network of friends, family that
and that's
always encourage
where I like to bring in my next point of like
the best out of
transportation. So there's
me.
been like companies like GM,
I'm also a
General
pretty
Motors, like
competitive guy,
Chevy,
so when I
GMC,
see
Cadillac,
somebody
all those
that's
been
doing
around for years,
better,
hundreds of
I gotta
years.
do
They
better,
they built
you know?
up their
That's
their
understandable.
representation of like
Yep.
what they are. They're like
All right, so
they've always.
what
had gas
advice
cars.
would
It's
you
always
have for
been
someone
gas,
that is
diesel,
looking to get
just
into like a
of running off
financial
fossil
position
fuels, not renewable
as like
resources.
a job?
But over this last year, these last like, few past
Ask your
months,
question, Preston.
even they've announced like
well, first you
their,
gotta study it.
movement towards
You know, you gotta be
the like
well on
using
your wares.
like energy cars, like so.
and then get
a good
internship
point is,
experience
like,
too.
the Hummer is
Because if
in
you
the
don't have
past known
any
as one of the
internship
worst,
experience, you kind of, what do you know?
gas mileage
You know?
cars around. It's
Exactly.
just it's how it's always been. They
so
get terrible gas mileage.
What do you think
they stopped
I
making
should
them
be
for a while,
doing
and they re-announced
now in
that
college
in,
to
I think,
succeed
2022,
in
they
the
will
financial
have,
industry?
A Hummer model that comes out that will be
Do you want to be a finance
completely
guy?
electric.
Yes.
So
I didn't,
not only
I didn't
that,
know
they
that.
have a Cadillac coming out in a few years that'll be completely electric. They have Buick's
Your
coming out.
GPA is pretty important.
They have about
It's a good
20
way to get
cars
in the
lined
door
up
pretty much
over
anywhere.
the next 5 years.
It's also
replacing
important
these
to
cars that were before them that used
know a
gas.
good amount of people.
Same thing with Ford.
Networking
the
and
Mustang. Mustang's been around for
Career
50,
fairs
60
and all
years
that
now.
jazz that help
More than
you
that, and they've
get all
completely
set up.
scrapped the muscle car look,
All right.
and it's now
and then
fully electric.
was there a
SUV.
class that you took
So
in
they-
college that helped
not
you
only is
prepare
it
or
these, like,
like
smaller
spark
companies that
interest
are
and
making
make
their
you want to
change.
do this?
It's like big, well-known.
No, I
companies
knew
that are
finance
making their change, and
is
it's
in pretty much every
something to
aspect
get
of
behind that the oil
anything,
companies can
right?
get behind.
Like if you're a
and see that,
doctor,
like, it's
one
not
of the
just
classes you'll
small
take in
companies making
medical
the
school
changes,
was
big
like
companies
basic
that are gonna,
finance. You know,
in the
if you're a
end,
vet, same deal.
like
If you're a
help
boat captain,
green
I don't
energy,
know,
like,
you
take
take
it
a
to the next
personal
level, too.
finance
It's
class,
not
right?
just
So I know that's something
the
you could
producers
do
of the energy. It's
with finance. You could do a number
you
of
have the
things.
producers, and then you have someone that can.
But
can
any
sell the
class
need
in
for it, 'cause
particular,
you don't want to buy
No,
a car
not
when
really.
you can't provide enough
I think
electricity
they all
for it,
kind of
and
tie
it's-
together pretty
so
well, and
there's producers, and then there's
build on
something
each
you
other
can
pretty
buy
well
to go with
as
that.
well.
So they
All
work
right.
hand in hand.
Yep.
Another thing that's been
What
around that
opportunities
we've been
help
trying
you
to
get
perfect
to
for
where you are?
about 100 years now is
I know you
nuclear
mentioned
fusion.
internships, but is there
So
anything else
nuclear fusion
that
is when
helped you get where you are?
combine two atoms and it
Internships and having a good
enough
network
energy to
of friends,
power
similar-minded
almost, like,
friends.
the entire U.S.
I think
the
being in a
same
fraternity is a pretty
ideal
good
as like the sun.
way to
The
go
same
about
way
that
the
as
sun
well.
produces so
All
much
right.
energy, and it's like it provides
All right.
So and then those internships that you mentioned before, did they? How did they help you prepare for what
It
you're
hasn't
doing
been
now?
perfected over the years, but if it had the support of a big brother,
It's
like
good
an oil
resume
company,
experience.
it-
Shows that
it
you
could
can
take
hold a job,
from being
work in
kind
different
of,
environments.
it works sort of works to
and
being perfected.
you
and
prove that you
becoming
did it
a-
twice.
Like a vital source of our
That
energy
proves
production.
that you did the job well
So,
enough to where
That's what
they
like,
wanted
it's,
you back,
It's
and that's
important
always
for
a
these
plus
big
too.
companies to realize
Um,
that hey, like this is something
yeah,
we can
just,
help with.
working
And we
on
have
your
the resources and we have the people
applicable
and the money
skills,
to put
soft
behind
skills, people
it,
skills,
to make a change in the end.
you know,
So, like,
that kind of thing. Greasing hands,
like,
get you indoors.
wind energy, hydropower, solar
All
energy.
right. And
they've
then,
been around.
so,
they've been basically perfected.
You
They'll
mentioned you
continue to
changed
grow.
jobs. How did
And,
that
like, we know what
affect
those are, but a lot of people know about
your, like,
fusion. And fusion
love
is
for the job? I guess
it's,
for like
it's
your
the future
your field.
of like
Did that
renewable
affect how you
energy
felt
because
about it?
leaves a
In
low
finance,
footprint,
there's
and it also creates
a variety of
lot
different
of
things you
energy
can do with it.
because
I think now I'm
it's-
in a
I mean,
more
it's the same thing the sun does. So
technically heavy
I think
financial
that
role,
these big companies can come together to work out what
which
they
is
need
pretty fun.
and
Playing with numbers a lot more.
help us speed up
Pretty
the
big
timeline
numbers
of
sometimes.
things like fusion.
Running out of
so
fingers
then,
for
like,
those.
with these
But,
steps, we can get
Nope.
the future
Still
here
like finance.
quicker than is expected.
All right, and then my last question is:
can
if
make
you could
these
go back,
progressive
would you
movements
want
and
to
have-
be anywhere else?
Hell
we knew
no.
Before we even think we were
All right,
We had
with
28
the
minutes.
support of these big oil companies. is
we're
the
at
key.
so.
At the end of the day,
Thank you for
it's
taking the
means
time
up
to
the
do an
big
interview
oil
with me,
companies, but I
Benjamin.
believe that with their support, they
You're
can
welcome,
make
Preston.
proper changes we need. with
I hope
renewable
all goes
energy,
well
and we
with your
can
job.
see
And
the future a lot quicker than
that is it.
we expect it to. And I
Hey,
think
good luck at
that-
school. Hope you get an A in the class. All right.
and all the big companies in the end will profit from this, and I believe that it will be better for everyone in the end, and the future will be bright for us.